everyone, today I'm gonna read Carmela full of wish. Carmela full of wishes. Carmela scooted along the uneven dirt path, watching men stoop to work with their hands. Her birthday bracelet jingling and jangling. The thick greenhouse smelled of marigolds and overturned earth and fresh manure. Carmela knew exactly what manure was, but she didn't want to think about that, not today. Today she awoke to a candle in her pancake, and her mom sang "Happy birthday to you" and told her, "Go on, Mija, make a wish." But Carmela's wish had already come true. She was finally old enough to go with her big brother. Carmela followed as he cut back into the street at Freedom Boulevard. Past the crowded bus stop and friends of repair shop, past the old folk home where 200 old women waved smiles. Past the huge home improvement store where her dad used to stand around weekend morning waiting for work. Carmela tried to make small talk with her brother as their metro got rattled, but her brother didn't make small talk back. He didn't want her tagging along. Too bad, she told him with a glare. Just outside the laundromat, she picked a lone dandelion growing among the concrete weeds. She pulled a breath and leaned toward the fuzzy white pup. But just before she could blow, her brother butt in. Did you even make a wish? You are supposed to make a wish. Everyone knows that. Of course I made a wish, she told him. But it was a lie. Carmela didn't know. Carmela helped her brother short collars one-handed, helped him load the water one item at a time, while their clothes spun. Her imagination turned. Each new thought is in by a jingle of bracelet. Her brother found the sound annoying and shot her a dirty look. Too bad, she told him with a glare. She jingled her bracelet as he rode up to Miss Murray's vegetable stand, imagining a machine built into her bedroom wall, one that would spit out anything she could think of, but mostly candy. She jingled her bracelets in line at the locksmith shop, imagining her mom sleeping in one of those fancy hotel beds. She spent all day making for fancy gifts. She jingled her bracelets at the bodega down the block from their old apartment building, imagining her dad getting his paper fixed so he could finally be home. She jingled her bracelets outside the pharmacy, eying the shiny new bikes. In the window, her brother stopped in his truck. Why do it have to be so annoying? She strummed her bracelet at him and said, "It's a free country." The only time she didn't reach for her bracelets was when her brother ducked into his friend's house. Carmela slumped down on the curb, silently imagining all the things she could turn him into. The slimy pink tail of a rat, a cockroach scurrying away from the light, a wheelbarrow full of manure left in the sun. She stared down at the dandelion in her hand. It seemed so much more important now that she knew it was a place to put her wishes. What if she made the wrong choice? Carmela tried to hop a curb on the long trip home, but her thigh caught and her handlebar twisted, and she went crashing to the concrete. Don't cry, don't cry, don't cry. But then she saw her dandelion cross beside the drain. She looked at her big brother, warm tears rolling down her cheeks. He lifted up her scooter. "You okay?" She shook her head and pointed. "My wrist." He took her by the arm and led her back up the block, past the laundromat and the flea market, past the greenhouses and the smell of manure, past the overgrown park and across the train tracks. He didn't stop until they met into an abandoned farmhouse near a cliff overlooking the sea. "Close your eyes," he said. Carmela closed them. "Now make the wish," he said. Carmela listened to the ocean hum in the distance. She listened to the squawking birds. She listened to the wind whistling past her ears. Then she opened her eyes. She saw hundreds of tiny white spores lifting into the air, floating out toward the fall of surf. The sky was full of wishes. "Let go," her brother said. "Don't you want to know my wish?" she asked. He shook his head. "If you tell, it won't come true." She looked back one last time, then took off her bracelets and followed her brother home.